Today I'm reviewing Viper Z by Ultra Cornhole. Before I jump in the review, I want to get on my soapbox just for a moment. I promise it'll be a short moment here. If you've watched my reviews of Ultra bags before, you know what I'm about to say, and it's the naming. I hate the fact that Ultra just adds a letter to in the Viper and makes a new bag. It's a lazy way of doing things. It's the easy way out, and it just makes it super confusing. I don't even know how many different versions of the Viper they have, or I wouldn't call them versions because they're different bags. They're not even the same bag. I don't know how many different letter variations of the Viper name do they have out there. And I've had multiple conversations with people, mostly new players, but even some that have been around a while, that go buy a set of Ultra Vipers because they went to a local event or they threw them somewhere to blind draw and they liked them and they went online and they bought one because it had the same design on it, because all the Vipers, all the different Viper letters use the same basic design. So they look the same. They go to the website and go, oh, that looks like the bags I threw. They buy them, they get them in, and it's not the bags that they threw. It's not the bags they want, and they're not happy. And it's just because of the naming of them, using the same name by just adding a letter, that those new players don't realize that this letter matters on there. They just see the name Ultra Viper and they see the design and they get it. It drives me crazy. It's enough that it frustrates me that I hate reviewing their bags. I do, because I know I'm gonna get a lot of questions. People are gonna be confused about what the difference is in the Viper Z versus the other 40 different variations of the Viper out there. But anyway, just jump in. Let's do the review on these bags. We'll break these Viper Zs down. As always, we'll start with materials. Slow side, this is a hybrid material. This is a unique material. I've never seen this in any other bag before. Ultra, I think, calls it a blend between the hybrid material and slow side of the Viper R and that herringbone carpet. I don't think it's a literal blend from the two materials, but I think it actually is a really good description of the materials in the way that this material plays, in the sense that you have that control of that herringbone carpet, the ability to throw blockers, the ability to shot shape, cut, roll, flop, but you still have the whole frilliness and the drippiness of that Viper R slow side material. And I think this material does that really well. You've got the best of both worlds. It's one of those materials that I think, I always talk about cornhole bags being a zero-sum game. When you gain something, like you gain control, you have to take away from the whole frilliness. Or if you gain whole frilliness, you take away from control. And that you have to balance that scale out. Honestly, these Viper Zs, they gain control, but they don't sacrifice as much whole frilliness as I'm used to seeing out there. So they really do a great job of kind of meshing the two worlds together, the whole runners with the control style players. I think brand new, this material plays quicker, what I've heard. Now, these bags were loaned to me, so when I got them in, they were already broke in, which I'm thankful for because it saves me a lot of time of having to break the bags in. So I'm glad I received them pre-broke in and ready to go. But I think brand new, they're going to play quicker. They're going to play more like that Viper R at that 5.5, 6.5 speed. Give them time, because once these things are broken like these are right here, they get down to probably about a 4.5 to 5 speed. They're faster than your traditional carpet bags are out there, the 4-speed carpet bags. They're slower than that Viper R slow side material is. They're somewhere maybe close to that Brotherhood Guardian slow side material, somewhere in that range, but I think they're just a touch slower than that. In my opinion, it plays a touch slower. That's why I say a 4.5, maybe a 4 3/4. Maybe a 4.75 is the right idea, but I'm going to call them a 4.5 speed. So we're between a 4.5, 5 speed on the slow side here. Again, great for control, throwing blockers up there, great for the dirty style game. The cuts, rolls, flops, does that really well, but yet you still have hole frilliness. It really does drip in the hole like a faster material. It really is. I was really pleasantly surprised the way this material plays. I didn't think I was going to like it, and the more I threw it, the more I really fell in love with it. It's a wonderful material. So 4.5 speed on the slow side of these Viper Zs. Fast side, this is that same fast side Ultra uses on the Viper and all the other Viper bags, I think, except for the Viper B. Same material Viper uses on the other side, but it's that same fast side material found on the Ultra Viper, same fast side as the Lucky Bags Pro Sniper. 9 speed, it's fast, it's great for pushing those blockers all the way up into the hole, great for pulling bags out of the way, it's great for dealing with that congestion around the hole. We're talking about a 4.5, 9 speed on these Viper Zs. Template wise, this is it's a medium template, but it's on the larger side of medium. It's not quite a large template, so it's just smaller than the Ultra Viper R template. It's just a hair bit smaller than that. It's maybe closer to the Viper RV, I think it is. It's somewhere in that range, but it's a little bit bigger than I would say a quote-unquote normal template is for most ACL stand bags, most cornhole bags. It's a touch bigger. Ultra tends to run a little bit bigger templates than most bags out there, so medium to large template on this. Still a medium amount of fill in here because the bag still has a fuller feeling to it. Even though it's kind of that medium to large template, it's still got a fuller feeling, although it does have flop. It's a floppy bag that has a fuller feeling to it. And I know some people say, oh, fuller bags can't be floppy, but this bag does have quite a bit of fill in there, but because of the template's a little bigger than normal, you still get some flop. It's just not a real loose, it's starting to get some looseness to it, and I think it's because these materials do have stretch to them. I don't feel a liner in here at all, so I think that's going to allow this sole side to stretch as it breaks in. This fast side material does stretch, so I think that does kind of loosen the bags a little more. They'll probably feel a little fuller brand new, but once you break them in, they're going to get some looseness, and I do think the looseness adds to the forgiveness of the bag on the landing as well as around the hole, and I'll get to that here in a moment. These bags have a mixed fill in here. This is that, I think it's the same tri-blend fill that Ultra uses in some of their other bags. It's a mixed fill. I really like this fill better than their quote-unquote standard fill. I think it's a fill that's more hole-friendly, and it's a fill that does give the bag some action, so it really aids in the shot shaping, cuts, rolls, and flops, and it helps in that drippability of the bag. It really drips into the hole really well. So I love the fill that Ultra put in this bag. These bags are ACL stamps, playing the ACL. You can throw the Viper Z's. Let's jump in, talk about playability on this. And as I mentioned, it's a bag that's control to it. So if you want to play a dirty style game, you've got the control here to throw your blockers up there really wherever you want. You can really place those blockers where you want to on the board. Because the bag is a little bit bigger than normal template, it makes a wonderful blocker. So you don't have to get super aggressive getting really over in your opponent's lane. You can still keep it kind of in the middle and still take up more space over in your opponent's side, which forces them to really get cute to go around it or go through it or go over it, whatever, and hopefully make them make a mistake. And then when it comes time for you to collect, you're just coming in the middle. You don't have to go crazy aggressive because you don't have to put it too aggressive on their side. Come in the middle, clip it and take it in. And you've got a little bit larger than normal bag collecting it, which means you've got, you don't have to be quite as far over there. So it does make it easier for collecting. And because the bags aren't super sloppy and floppy, they don't really smash and are coring up that much. So coming down, you're clipping a corner, take the bags. And I found them really easy to collect. Again, you also have the shot shaping options because you have some control with this material and the mixed fill in there. I was able to throw some cuts with this bag really well. I think you can roll and flop it with no problem whatsoever. So it's definitely a bag that has the shot shaping capabilities of it. But it's also a bag, as I mentioned, that's still very hole friendly and drippy, which means if you like to run bags in the hole, you can have success doing these Viper Z's. And because the bag does have that little bit bigger than normal template, you're going to get more forgiveness. That corner's going to dip in a little bit easier. So if you're missing left or right on your mark and you're kind of skimming by the hole, it's a little bit more of a bag to kind of dip in, hook the lip of the hole, pull the bag back in and drip in for you. So definitely a forgiving bag around the hole. It's also a forgiving bag in the landing. Because of the flop you have in this bag, I don't know if I mentioned it, there's really little to no kick to it whatsoever in this bag. And even though you have a bag that has control to it and you have a little bit, a 4.5 speed material should have some kick to it, especially with the mixed fill. This really doesn't have much of a kick, much movement at all. So it's definitely a bag where if you don't throw flat, but you want to play a dirty style game, I think these Viper Z's would fit really well for you. I think you can pull them out, and I think you can have a lot of success in the sense that you can still throw your blockers up there, but you're not really losing control of the bag because you're not flat. It surprised me. It played better than I thought. When I first saw these bags, I was kind of like, I think it's just another gimmicky new material. It's really not going to matter. But I really, really like the way this slow side material plays. It gives you the control and the dirty style playability of your traditional carpets with the hole friendliness and the drippiness of those hybrid materials. And that is something that not a lot of materials have, very few materials have right now, and this is definitely one of them. So if you're a dirty style player, I definitely recommend you check these Viper Z's out because I think you're going to love the way they play. Leads me to availability. Ultra has a website, ultracornhole.com. As always, there's a link down the description for you guys. The bags are on their website. They're listed for $115 normally. Currently, when I went to look up, they were on sale for $99. Depending on when you watch this review, I don't know if they'll have a sale that time or not, but Ultra does run sales quite often. It was $12.50 shipping. So depending on if you're doing it at the 115, it's $127, $128 shipped to you, which is really kind of at that higher price point. Almost, I would hesitate buying at that price. If you get them more at that $99 price point, put you more like $112 shipped to you. That's a little bit more reasonable. I would recommend, though, because it is new material, if you can find someone who has a set that you can try out at an event or throw for a few rounds, just to make sure you like them, because $112 is a lot to put in a set of bags with the material you've never thrown before. If you've thrown these Viper Z's, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I think a lot of people watching as well would like to see them as well. So drop a comment down below. Let us all know what you think of these Viper Z bags. As always, I thank you so much for your support, and I thank you for watching.